Hey Sunny Solution fans, how are you tonight? I wanted to get on here and show you how easy it is to make your own DIY dishwasher soap. So if you're watching this live, give me some hearts and likes. If you're watching on the replay, do a hashtag replay. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit just about some of the toxins that are in our dishwasher detergent. So I found a list of 8, and don't think this is conclusive, but one of the top things that are in most of your dishwasher detergents are phosphates. So phosphates are used as a water softener, but when they go out into our waterways after they've been through some of our treatment plants, they aren't always able to remove all the phosphate, and it can cause basically a fertilizer effect. So we have an overgrowth of algae in some of our waterways. Triclosan, which is found in our antibacterial hand soaps, hand sanitizers. It's in a lot of our laundry products as well. Will breed antibiotic resistant bacteria. So another thing that we need to look out for. And then sodium lauryl sulfate, or SLS. That's kind of our degreaser. It gives us the sudsing in our soaps. It's found in a lot of personal care products as well. But one of the problems with it is it's skin irritant. It can cause allergies. Some have found that it could be carcinogenic as well. And then a few other things that are in our laundry detergents, fragrances, and they're synthetic, and so they also can disrupt our hormonal system, as well as another chemical called DEA that can disrupt our hormones. And chlorine is found in there, so that's harmful to our lungs. Formaldehyde, they often put that in as a preservative to prevent bacterial growth in our products. However, any amount of formaldehyde is toxic to our body. And then ammonia can be added in there as well. And think about if you add ammonia to chlorine, what that does. And so most of us have a city water supply. Now we don't here. We're on a well, but if you have chlorine in your water and then you're adding ammonia to it, that is a deadly chemical reaction, and you never want to mix those two together. So I have 2 different recipes, and I'm going to show you the one tonight. This first recipe is really pretty easy because you just mix it up in a powder form. This is what I have left in the bottom of my container, so I need to make some more. But it takes 1 cup of the Mule Team Borax, or whatever brand of borax you have. And so I'm going to put that in, and I'm going to tilt my camera just a little bit so you can see that. Okay. And then I already pre-measured them. And then this is a cup of baking soda. And the recipe calls for washing soda, but I haven't really been able to find that conveniently. Now I know you can, I think, spread the baking soda out on a pan and bake it a little bit, and it changes it enough, but I've made this recipe with just baking soda and it works just fine. And then it calls for a 1/4 cup of Epsom salt, so I'm putting that in here. And then I'm going to stir these all together. These are all the dry component. And then as I'm mixing that through. So it calls for citric acid, which I do have citric acid, and when I've made this before, I've used citric acid. But a friend of mine told me you can go buy the lemonade brand, or the lemonade flavor Kool-Aid packet to substitute for your citric acid. So since I have that right here, I'm going to mix it in. And then I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of vinegar. And in the recipe, you can also use lemon juice as well, but I have the white distilled vinegar. I use vinegar for about everything as far as cleaning goes. I also use white vinegar as my rinse agent in the dishwasher and my fabric softener compartment in my washing machine. So I've got these mixed together here. And you really can't tell because all of the above are white. So I've mixed it all together. And then I'm going to slowly drizzle in the vinegar because it's going to react with the baking soda. And I didn't pour it all in at once. I'm going to work that in so it'll make it kind of a crumbly powder. And mix a little bit more in here. And then I'm going to add essential oils to this. And this recipe calls for about 25 drops. And so you don't have to do it exactly. You know, if you used a little less or a little more, it's going to be just fine. And this recipe calls for lemon essential oil. So lemon's a natural whitening agent. And so I use lemon with my laundry detergent and also in the vinegar for the rinse cycle in place of bleach. And so lemon in here will be really good because we're eliminating the bleach out of your dishwasher detergent. And this recipe can also be put into what I'm mixing up here. You can put that into silicone molds if you wanted to make dishwasher tabs. I just don't have that kind of patience for tonight. And I've mixed it up in the powder form, and I just use a tablespoon of it in the detergent side of my dishwasher, and it works just fine. And okay, so I think I've pretty much got that mixed. Now I chose 3 oils, so I'm gonna put in probably about 8 drops of each of these. And so I've got grapefruit, okay, and then I have OnGuard. So OnGuard is our natural kind of antibacterial type of oil. It's all of our immune support. And then lemon. And if you wanted to add a few more than 8 drops of lemon, you could do that too. And then I'm going to mix those through. And then you just need to store this in an airtight container. And then use 1 tablespoon inside of your dishwasher. And like I said, I use the vinegar in the rinse agent side. But if you don't have a rinse agent compartment in your dishwasher, you could definitely just pour a little bit of vinegar in the bottom of your dishwasher. So you've got some really potent natural cleaners here. And then I'm gonna, after I get done, I'll mix this a little bit when I'm off camera and add that to my airtight container. You don't have to have anything this fancy, but I just happen to have one of these. It's got a rubber seal with a lid that snaps down, but any kind of a sealed container would work. And I do recommend glass though, because plastic will, the oils will break down the plastic. So then I have another recipe that I've done before, and this one's called the OnGuard Dishwasher Tablets, and I made this one in a silicone mold. And this one's really a basic recipe. So you use 1 cup of baking soda, and you'll use a 1/4 cup of citric acid. Now when I did it before, I just used the citric acid. I haven't tried it with the Kool-Aid. And then a tablespoon of the doTERRA OnGuard Cleaning Concentrate. And then, let's see. Oh, and I added some grapefruit essential oil, but you could use the OnGuard or the lemon. And it only required 5 drops because you've already got OnGuard in here. And then you mix it all together. And if you find, like, this is a pretty wet consistency, so this would go into the molds pretty well. But if this wasn't quite damp enough to press into the mold, you would just take your spray bottle and spritz it a little bit at a time, working it through so it doesn't bubble up too much. And then you press it in your molds, and you may have to keep pressing it down a few times to keep it in the mold. And then let it sit about 4 hours and then pop them out. Some of the recipes say overnight, and I found we have a really dry climate here, especially in the winter. And so when I left it overnight, it got so hard that when I popped it out, it broke them. So I found that 4 or 5 hours to where it was dried at the touch was enough to pop them out without dismantling. And it does matter the shape of your mold. If you have too many edges on it, that will also break apart. A smooth edge mold would be better. And then you can just pop those into your detergent compartment as well. So that's all I have for you tonight. If you have some questions, just give me a message or a comment below. And feel free to share this video if you find that you have friends and family that want to know how to make it, or if you have some questions when you're getting your supplies or making it, let me know. And we will talk to you soon. Have a great night.